Good evening everyone, Christine Richardson from Natural Healing here. This week I'm really excited about spring starting, and in particular Spring Equinox, which is on the horizon this Saturday, the 20th of March. Before I became a qualified naturopath, I actually never really paid attention to Spring Equinox, I must admit. I paid attention to the change of season simply because probably I like the warm weather and when the spring blossoms come out. But I was not aware of the significance of Spring Equinox in the natural world, and since we are part of that natural world of us human beings. So in fact, Spring Equinox is nature's biggest opportunity of the year to cleanse. So, it's a fresh start. It is, we do it naturally in terms of spring cleaning. And if you've watched my video from last week about how to make your own natural non-chemical cleaner to help you spruce up your home, then you know what I've been talking about. And that's the theme for March, really, for me, to help you to live a more natural life and more in harmony with nature. So the reason why we also want to internally clean our bodies whilst, in spring is because over the year, our body obviously does an amazing job at digesting and ingesting and processing the things that we come in contact with, whether that's the air that we breathe or the food that we eat. However, you have to imagine, I always use the analogy of the internal rubbish bin. Our body has an internal rubbish bin because rubbish gets produced even through metabolizing food. So, no matter when you lived, 1,000 years ago or now in a more polluted world, you were always experiencing a certain load of rubbish inside your body. But now we're not living in a natural kind of environment anymore because we're living a very unnatural life in comparison to how our ancestors used to live. We are exposed to lots of toxins, whether that is in the air through air pollution, whether that is through smoking, whether that is, just simply the chemicals that we're using in the house to clean our bathrooms, the swimming pool. We're breathing in chlorine fumes all the time when we're going swimming, etc. You're getting the picture. I could go on about it, but then we'd be here all night. So hi Laura, hi Heather, lovely to have you here. So the analogy of this rubbish bin really is that over the year, if we do not cleanse the inside of our bodies, this rubbish bin keeps filling up, and no one's emptying the rubbish. What happens when you don't empty the rubbish? You just end up seeing a mess. So in our case, when it gets messy, our body starts to throw up symptoms. So really that's how us naturopaths look at it. It is our body communicating with us, listen, rubbish bin is getting full. I can't cope with all of this rubbish anymore. You please come and empty it. So spring, and especially Spring Equinox, is the perfect opportunity for our bodies to cleanse internally, just as much as it's the perfect time for us to clean up our gardens, clean up our house, do the spring clean and feel fresh for the new year and for the summer to come. So I wanted to talk to you about giving you just a few very simple starter tips to get you started. I mean, some of you might already be on this journey and you're very familiar with detoxing, but tonight really is about giving you a starting point if you are a novice at detoxing. So this weekend, the 20th of March, is Spring Equinox. So really this is when the sun crosses over from the southern hemisphere over the equator into the northern hemisphere. And as you can tell, this is actually the other way around in the southern hemisphere. So their Spring Equinox will be in September. So for us, this is the time when this energy changes. And also it's a fantastic opportunity. It's nature's time of flipping the energy around. It actually physically flips around until it is autumn equinox. So this weekend, Saturday, is the best time. But obviously any time around this weekend or this week is a great opportunity for you maybe to take a little pause and look at what you're eating and putting into your body, because that's in your control. You may not be able to control the fumes that you're breathing in when you're walking around your block to get some fresh air, but you can control what you're putting into your body. So I'm going to give you 3 tips tonight on how you can get started this weekend. So especially around Saturday time, but don't worry, you know, there's no hard and fast rules. The energies are changing now, so all the time. So any day is better than no day. So I would say to you, the first approach, pick your favorite one if you want to have a go afterwards, is drink more water. So drink clean, filtered, still water, and cut out all the dehydrating drinks, which would be alcohol, black tea, whether you drink that with milk or not, and coffee, and any soda pop drinks. So could you imagine doing one day where you drink nothing but water and maybe herbal teas? So say chamomile, mint tea, red bush tea, something like that. A green tea would be amazing, but cut out everything else, because these are stimulants that give your body extra work to process. So what you're trying to do when you're detoxing is to lessen the amount of work that your body has to do to allow it to go into a more restful, rest and repair kind of scenario. Because if we drink a lot of coffee, for example, and I could go on about this, I can hold a whole course on this, is we are actually stimulating our body so much so that we are over stimulating our adrenals. We are, you know, pumping our body up with adrenaline and cortisol. And then obviously the body just gets into this fight or flight mode. It's like, you know, you're about to be hit by a bus. What am I going to do now? That's how we feel after coffee. So, you know, your body needs to have very little to digest so it can actually look at the things in other areas that might need a bit of repair. So that's the first idea, really. Drink water and herbal teas. Try to drink 2 liters of water or a little bit more if you can manage throughout the course of a day, one day. And cut out, see if you can manage to cut out coffee, black teas and alcohol and like soda pops. So that's number 1 tip. The second tip is, I'll say hi here. We've got some new people watching. Anna Brown and Vivian Bauerbang. Lovely to have you here. So tonight, just if you missed the beginning, I'm giving 3 simple starter tips for people who have never come across detoxing and an internal body spring cleanse. So I've mentioned the first one, and now I'm on to the second one, and that really would be a green juice detox. So I actually don't have a juicer. I love smoothies. So whether you have a juicer or a smoothie maker, I mean, a smoothie maker really is a food processor, like a bullet, a NutriBullet. They are quite inexpensive in supermarkets to buy. So say 20, 30 pounds in my country and you can get started. And they're great for lots of different things. So that's a really good investment. And what you then do is you could just start with green fruits. So say you take green grapes, kiwi and spinach, filtered water on it, whiz it all up, and you take that as your meals instead of your meals. So that would be your breakfast, your lunch, maybe a snack, and your evening meal. In between, you drink water and you avoid all these stimulating other drinks. You also try to avoid, obviously you would avoid any stimulating other foods. You wouldn't eat anything else other than these green juices. And that allows your body to obviously focus on a minimal type of digestion. It is all in liquid format. It is very hydrating and nourishing. Green means it's super alkalizing. Your body wants alkalizing inside, because if it is acidic, which is the opposite of alkaline, that's where disease thrives. If your body is alkaline, disease doesn't like it. It's a bit like, you know, the rats will come when the rubbish is left out. But if there's no rubbish left out, there's no rats coming, because, you know, rats only follow the food. So that's another little analogy for you. So that's another option. That's actually part of my detox regime this week, is the green juices, because I absolutely love them. And yeah, they're just so good for cleansing your body internally. So that's an easy one. If anyone wants a recipe and wants to try something out, please just direct message me or email me at hello@christinerichardson.co.uk. I'm more than happy to help you and send you something for free. That's no problem. If you want to give it a go and I can get someone else onto the kind of internal cleansing bandwagon, then that would be amazing. So please just reach out. Yes, the third one, because obviously I like to keep it short, but I'm always wanting to give you lots of you know, things to take away and things to action, is to do a monofast. So really what that means is you can do this over a period of several days. But what I'm suggesting, if you're absolute novice, one day, one type of food, okay? So we're talking something wholesome and healthy here. So what I would suggest to start with is grapes, watermelon, apples, bananas. Ideally, if you can find them and source them and afford them, buy these organic. So what you would do is just buy a whole bunch of, and I'm not talking just one punnet of grapes, because if that's the only thing you're eating all day and you're not used to detoxing, then you probably want to eat a little bit more. But buy a few, wash them nicely, and then eat only that, breakfast, lunch and dinner, and drink lots and lots of water. Again, the effect is that your body doesn't have to do a lot of hard work, because digesting protein, for example, mixed maybe with carbohydrates, mixed with everything else, is really hard work. It takes a long time. So having a simple one mono food that goes in, it's like, well, done. Right? So your body can then focus on other things, which is the repair and relax mode. And that's what we're aiming for. So really, those are my 3 tips for tonight. If you wanted to do, you're maybe beyond the beginner stage, or you are more advanced, or you're keen to get into a professional detox because you really feel like you need it. Your body is telling you really when it's ready to detox. When you think, I'm getting irritable, I am getting frustrated, I am often angry. So, you know, that's what your body is telling you. Those are all things that as naturopaths can work on, and we can get rid of them. We don't have to understand where they're necessarily coming from, because we can work on the source of what's creating those. But when you're doing a professional detox, I would always recommend you work together with a alternative therapist, a professional alternative therapist, to get guidance. Because if you're doing a proper detox, you will have potentially proper side effects. And all what I'm talking about is often a side effect is a headache. Because suddenly for example, you're withdrawing your body from the caffeine that you're used to having maybe several times a day, or the black tea, or the alcohol. So, you know, you'll have certain withdrawal symptoms potentially, or you might get a cold, or, you know, like flu-like symptoms and feel really under the weather. But that's normal, okay? So that's your body actually using different areas of the body to push out the toxins. So there is naturopathic techniques which are very easily put into place, and they just support and manage these side effects so that you're more comfortable whilst you're riding that wave of internal cleansing out, and then you're left with this wonderfully fresh, clean house, which is your temple. So that's really what I wanted to leave you with today, is that this time right now, March, especially this week, next week, are a fantastic opportunity to look at how you can help to spring cleanse your inside. So if you wanted to get more information on this, please contact me. If you want to have regular updates and you don't want to miss out on anything, visit my website at www.christinerichardson.co.uk. There's lots of opportunities to sign up to my free newsletter, and you can also get some freebies on there. So you're very welcome to join me on the journey if you haven't already. And I email once a week to give you some tips and inspiration. And obviously I'm more than happy to answer your questions, whether that is now and you want to type them in the comments, or whether you want to contact me via direct message or email address hello@christinerichardson.co.uk. So that's cool. So if you have any questions right now, please go for it. I'll have a look. Is anybody here who has done a detox before? I think that is Heather. Yes, Heather's been detoxing. Okay, anybody else? No. Okay. So, well, if there's no questions, then I am very happy to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I wish you all a wonderful beginning of spring, a wonderful cleanse, whether that is hopefully obviously an internal body cleanse as much as a house and home and garden cleanse. And yeah, hopefully you're doing it all with natural ingredients to minimize the toxic intake into our systems and that of your family. So thank you so much for watching tonight, and I'll see you all again next Monday. Bye for now.